All right, Shalom. Call Allah Law, Yahweh Bashim, Al Shai Bashim, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of the great millstone. Much peace and love to all the brothers doing this work in truth and sincerity. Shalom. This is the book of Job, chapter 2. Start at verse 6. It says, And Satan and Yahweh said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So went Satan forth from the presence of Yahweh, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. And then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still remain thine integrity? Curse God and die. So the reason why I'm getting this scripture is because one thing about women, they can't stand adversity. They can't stand it, to be in a bad case, so to speak. You know? So when that time comes, women are going to be your number one enemy. It might be Rib. It might be another girl, another woman. But Satan is going to use them to try to get to you. As, you know, Job's wife said something that was very stupid. And Job said that. Okay, the word integrity, it says the quality of being honest and having strong morals, moral uprightness. So, she wanted, let me see, online etymology dictionary. She wanted Job to curse the Lord and die. She didn't want Job to maintain his integrity. But that wasn't nothing but Satan using the woman, which is the weaker vessel, to try to get in the head of Job and have him, you know, go off, so to speak, curse the Lord and die. But this is Job's response. And we got to know that these women, man, they're not righteous, man. They work for Satan. This is verse 10. It says, But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips. So that's what Satan was trying to do. He was trying to get Job to curse the Lord. That's why he used his Rib, his wife, to say that stupid shit, man. You know, I'm pretty sure Job cursed her ass out because he understood that, you know, the Lord controls everything. And that's one thing that people don't understand. Isaiah 45:7, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So good and evil comes from the hands of the Lord. The Lord is the one that does that. And we have a lot of enemies. Like King David said, my enemies are more than the hairs of my head. And the time is going to come where you will find out who your enemies are. Because what the scripture says, a friend can't be known in adversity. I believe that's what the scripture says. No, I spelled friend wrong. Just about to say. Sirach chapter 12, verse 8. It says, a friend cannot be known in prosperity, because people that are prosperous, they got many friends. They don't know who their real friends are, because they're not people and that's well known in the world. When you got a lot of money, you got a lot of friends. But it says, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart. Right? Because people that not really solid, man. And not your real friends. So a friend can be known in adversity, man. Somebody starts coming up against you, because that's what adversity means. When somebody comes against you, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart. So we have a lot of enemies. And when the time comes, those people will reveal themselves. Their actual motives real begin. Like, especially like something real hard comes down on them or y'all, they're gonna start to change. They're not gonna remain solid. This is the book of Psalms 69:4. It says, "They that hate me without a cause are more than the hairs of my head. They that would destroy me, being my enemies wrongfully, are mighty. Then I restored that which I took not away." So we have a lot of enemies, man. Because ultimately, if you're not with us, then you against us at the end of the day. Even family. You know, the scripture says, "Man's foes shall be those of his own household." Matthew 10:36. It says, "A man's foes shall be they of his own household." So the people that you're closest to, the people that you know, your family, so to speak. It's nothing to be at all at. You just got to be mindful of the people that are closest to you. I'm gonna start at I'm actually Matthew 10:35. "For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foes shall be of his own household." So just got to be mindful that we have a lot of enemies. But in the time when tribulation start to come and adversity starts to hit, a lot of true colors are going to show. Adversity. Let me get that definition real quick for edification. It says difficulties, misfortune. So when things start getting difficult out here, people are going to start to show their real colors. Because they don't got the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, they're going to start to turn on each other, man. That's what happens. People turn on each other like the wind, man. You can't find a solid friend anymore because people change. And what the scripture says, "Meddle not with them that are given to change." Too much change. Here it is. Proverbs 24:21. "My son, fear thou Yahweh and your king, and meddle not with them that are given to change." Right? Somebody that's always changing. Somebody, especially like that's the concept of a woman. A woman is always changing. She changes how she feels every day. A state of instant or a serious or continued difficulty or misfortune. That's what the word adversity means. Somebody that's adverse, basically the spirit of Satan, because Satan is what? Satan means adversary. So adversary, adversary, they sound kind of like the same. Because somebody's adverse to you. Adversary. Okay, adversary means one that contends with, opposes, resists, an enemy or opponent. So Satan, the people come in the spirit of Satan. They come in the spirit of being your opponent, your enemy, your adversary. You got to watch for them people. Watch out for them type of people, man, because they're not really your friends. And that's why another thing too, never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. You don't keep everybody in your business. Got to have some sense of, discretion. Let's go to that word discretion, because, people be trying to figure you out. You got to be discreet. Be discreet about certain things, man. Discretion. It says ability to preserve, perceive, and understand. Hold on. Is this the right word? Oh, okay. Yeah, it is. Ability to distinguish right from wrong. Prudence regarding one's conduct. Yeah, that's what I want. Your conduct. separation, distinction, to separate, distinguish. Now let's go to that word discreet, because you got to be discreet. It says morally discerning, prudent, circumspect. What the scripture says about being circumspect. Ephesians 5:15, it says, see then that we ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. So you got to be discreet, meaning circumspect, wise in avoiding mistakes. Exactly, wise in avoiding mistakes. Discreet, sensible, intelligent, wise, separated, distinguished, distinct, discerning, careful. You got to be careful. To separate, set apart, divide, distinguish, preserve. So you got to be very careful. You got to be discreet. Never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Be discreet, man, because you don't know who your enemies are. And guaranteed 9 out of 10 is those that you trust the most, that what you love the most. That you have love for, which is considered your family, but you gotta love your house shot more. And final, last but not least, I'm gonna get this last precept, then I'm gonna close it out. This is the book of Proverbs 3:5. Trust in Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. One more precept. Jeremiah 9:4, it says, take ye heed every one of his neighbor. So watch out for your neighbor. Watch out for the people, man. You got to be circumspect, man. You got to watch. You got to pay attention. You got to have your head on the swivel. It says neighbor, one who lives near. Dweller, somebody that, might know where you stay. All they got to do is ask the right questions to the right people. They'll find out any information about you. Because somebody might run their mouth about you or whatever the case may be, but just got to be circumspect, man. He says, take ye heed every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother. For every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slanders. Right. People try to supplant. Jake try to supplant you, and you got to worry about people out here slandering you. Speaking bad on your name. Coming up with all kinds of shit that you ain't even do against you. Because people find a reason to be your enemy, man. You might have accidentally bumped into them and apologized, and they still mad. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people, man? It says slander, the action or crime of making a false spoken statement damaging to a person's reputation. Exactly, slander. Damaging somebody's reputation. All because you and your feelings, man. So, I always going to, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the Spirit. Just be circumspect, man. Never let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. So with that, I'm going to give all praises and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bashim Shah, Bashim Kakodash. Double honor to my apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone. Much peace and love to all the brothers doing this work and truth and sincerity. When I say Shalom, Kwam Yashala, Wa Abad, Adawam, Shalom.